Feeling alone, kinda misty.
Hi friends, it's Susan and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about sugar, sugar, and more sugar. So you guessed it, it's Christmas cookies. I finally made them. So let's get in the mood with a nice candle and a hot coffee.
We'll be warm, sitting by the fire and dream. Tell me again with a whisper, little things that I wanna hear, and the stars up above.
So I'm going to start with the cookie that I made up years ago, and it's a big hit with family and friends. Since it's been made with Toblerone chocolate, I called it Snow Tobes. Okay, first I'm going to be cutting up the Toblerone. I'm going to cut the slices and then cut the slices in half once again. So we're going to start off by creaming 1 cup of butter, with 1½ cups of white sugar, two eggs, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm going to be creaming it in the mixer, and then I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of milk, in a separate bowl. I'm going to be whisking in about 3½ to 4 cups of flour, I'm going to be adding ½ a teaspoon of salt, and ½ a teaspoon of baking soda. So I'm going to whisk the dry ingredients together and then add it to the creamed ingredients. If they're sticky, just add a little bit of flour. I'm going to form them into little balls and then flatten them and add a tiny piece of the Toblerone. Excuse the worn out baking sheets. I always buy new ones in December, but I forgot this year. I'm going to bake them at 375 for 10 minutes. When they're cool, I'm going to add a little sifted icing sugar on the top. Anybody who tries these cookies can never get enough. I'm trying to hide these cookies from my boys. Do you think they'll find them? So the second cookie we'll be making are peanut butter balls. I used to make these when my kids were small and I forgot all about them. So I'm going to try them again. Starting off with 3/4 of a cup of butter. And then I'm going to be adding 3/4 of a cup of peanut butter. Now I'm going to be adding 1 cup of white sugar. And a cup of brown sugar. I'm going to cream those together, and then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla and 2 eggs. Again, in a separate bowl, I'm going to whisk together 3 cups of flour, one teaspoon of baking soda, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So for the inside of this cookie, I'm using mini peanut butter cups. Of course, it takes a long time to unfold all the wrappers. So what I'm going to do here is just scoop out a little ball, and then I'm going to insert a little peanut butter cup in the middle, and then just mold the dough around it and roll into a ball. what I do is once they're all on the cookie sheet, I will pop them in the fridge for about 20 minutes just to get them a bit firmer so that they'll bake properly and won't sort of just, get runny and just go flat. I'm going to bake them for 350 for about 12 minutes. Then I'm going to cool them, and then I'm going to sprinkle the tops of them with 2 parts of icing sugar to 1 part cocoa powder, and just sift it on top. Okay, so now for the third cookie, a more festive kind of cookie called Grinch Cookies. I'm going to be starting with 1 cup of butter, soften it, I'm going to be adding 1 2/3 cup sugar and 2 eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and 10 drops or so of green food coloring. Then I'm going to whisk them together, or I should say cream them together. So again, in a separate bowl, I'm going to whisk together 3 1/3 cups of flour, adding to that 2 teaspoons of cornstarch and 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So I'm going to whisk that together and then add it to the wet ingredients. I always like to use my hands just to form it together. Now, I sort of skipped a spot here where I had put it in the fridge for 30 minutes to chill it, just to firm it up a bit. So now I'm using a cookie scoop, and I bake them at 350 for about 15 minutes. Before they're cool, press in the M&Ms while they're hot. And then let cool. Okay, so the fourth item I'll be making are some Gingerbread Men Cakes. I got these little molds at TJ Maxx and thought at first to make cranberry ice cubes for drinks, and then I thought, no, I'm going to make some little cakes. So they didn't really turn out as good as I thought they would. I had sprayed the molds and they still stuck. So in a bowl here I've added 1 cup of milk, 1 cup of water, half a cup of sunflower oil, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla, 2 eggs, and then I whisked it together. In a separate bowl again, I added 2½ cups of flour, 2 cups of sugar, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. And then I folded it into the wet ingredients. I'm using a bowl this time. When I use my mixer, it's very difficult for you to see. And I don't have a very big kitchen, so I thought I would just make the cookies and the cakes on the island. So I'm going to blend that together. And then I'm going to pour them into greased silicone molds and just halfway up. I always add a little baking sheet underneath, and then here they're baked, and I think I baked them on 350 for 15 minutes. I always shave off the tops. After I let them cool in the fridge, and they still were a bit difficult to lift out, I lost a few legs. I did have a few survivors, and I piped on 2 little eyes and some buttons with some icing sugar and water mixture. All in all, they turned out great, I guess. And here they are, ready to serve. Too bad you guys can't come over and taste them with some hot coffee. I'm ending this video with a warm Christmas greeting to you, your families. Take care, friends.